Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I had a little bit before I have to do my son's parent-teacher conference to sit down and record some videos. So we are going to be looking at the bombshell that Larsa Pippen has dropped about the Kardashians. You know how she said that she was with Tristan first and then Khloe ended up with him. She said 7 to 10 days later. And then she also made some allegations that Kanye is the reason why none of the Kardashians are associating with her any longer, and that Travis supposedly lied to Kylie and said that Larsa tried to hit on him at a club. So we're gonna go take a look at that, see if there's any truth to these things, like what Spirit wants us to know in regards to Larsa, to her relationship that she has with the Kardashians, and basically, I mean, I guess maybe if she's going to spill any more tea or what's coming from all of that. So let's go ahead and get started. And for those of you who are new here, I am Bella Basso, aka Psychic Bella Love from psychicbellalove.com. You can book your own personal private reading with me on the site using coupon code BELLA20. And I also have different specials going on for email readings. All of that information will also be linked in the description box. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Psychic Bella Love. And make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, do all that fun stuff. I am going to be doing a giveaway in conjunction with a Black woman-owned business, Miranda Diane Art, when I reach 300 subscribers. So one of you will win a pendant of your choice. You can go on her Instagram page, which is Miranda Diane Art, and get a look ahead of time at her different pieces. They're absolutely stunning. So you're gonna win a necklace from her and then a free reading of your choice from me. So make sure that you are subscribed so we can get to that 300. We're super close. I think earlier when I checked, we were like at 265, so it's coming soon. So let's go ahead and dig in and see. Spirit, please join us and please answer any questions in regards to Larsa Pippen, the Kardashians, Kanye West, Travis Scott, Tristan Thompson, anybody else associated in the story, including Scottie Pippen. Please, we ask with the intention of clarity, understanding. There's no malicious or malintent involved in this. Thank you for joining us, Spirit, and thank you for blessing all who we ask about and all who watch these videos. And the other thing that Larsa said was that Scottie Pippen didn't like her being friends with them, and he would like grab the phone from her and hang up if she was on the phone with them, but that she didn't allow her husband to get in the way of her friendship with them. But then when Kanye had an issue with it, Kim supposedly just dropped her like a hot potato. And she also claimed that Kanye would call her like at 4 o'clock in the morning, like ranting, and that she was the only person that would take his calls, and that this all started because she couldn't take that energy anymore and blocked him. So we'll see if that is true too. Out of all of the things that she said, I almost kind of found that one a little hard to believe, because but then it also kind of makes sense because Kanye, when he has his moments, you know, he sort of always chooses the worst place to have them or the wrong audience to share them with, so or doesn't explain things correctly. So I was like, maybe it would make sense that like out of all the people in the world you're gonna call Larsa Pippen, you know, to have these mental breakdowns in the middle of the night with, or but then it was also kind of like, do we really think Kanye would call Larsa Pippen for like that kind of stuff? So it's just a little weird. So that's definitely going to be one of the things that I'm going to ask the cards, like if it doesn't come up in, you know, this overview look, because again, like I said, that one just was a little like, wait, what? Five. So yeah, and I also want to ask at the end, because I just had this thought that ran through my head last night. I think I heard somebody, I think I was listening to a YouTube video and somebody mentioned something about Courtney's like undergoing fertility treatments to get pregnant with another of Scott's children after, you know, him and Sophia have now ended things. And I was just, you know, and we've been hearing the rumors that either Chloe is pregnant or she's trying to get pregnant with another baby for Tristan. And it's like, I don't know, the thought crossed my mind, because I know that people always say that Kylie wants more kids too. And I was like, well, she'd probably have another one with Travis as well. And then, you know, it's like, I wonder if the way that we saw, who was it, Kim, Chloe, and Kylie all pregnant or having kids, babies within that, what was it, like 3 or 4 month period a couple years ago when Stormy and Shrew in Chicago were born. I wonder if we're going to see that with Chloe, Kylie, and Courtney. I always try so hard not to say all of their names as this like one big jumbled mess, because that's where like my mouth wants to go and just like make them all one name, and it's like Kaya, Cora, Courtney, you know, instead of individually saying their names, because they all sound so similar and they all have that K, you know. So let's see what it is that Spirit wants us to know in regards to Larsa Pippen and, you know, her whole thing going on right now. Okay, so she feels like by them cutting her off with this 3 of coins and this 5 of cup cards, that it affected her prospects financially. So there's something that Spirit is saying, like there was some sort of deal that she was in the middle of like or about to sign with a company, like one of those like flat tea companies or whatever that some of the other girls in the family have sponsorships with, and her sponsorship or whatever it was that they were working on wasn't, you know, it wasn't like Kris Jenner, you know, set this up for her or anything like that, but it was that all of a sudden, you know, like they're about to close on this deal. She's about to take all these pictures and post them. And she's, you know, now having this, whatever it was between her and the Kardashians. And this deal suddenly was off the table. And so she very much knows that they played a part in that. And she hasn't seen like other things coming her way. So she's associating it with them, that like either people don't want to work with her in the hopes of the Kardashians not, like, it's like, for example, if I'm going to run an ad on Instagram and I was going to run an ad with Larsa Pippen, but then I'm like, well, I don't want the Kardashians to see me working with them, because then what if I wanted to, you know, pay Courtney to tell everybody I'm the world's best psychic, and she doesn't want to do it because I worked with Larsa a few months ago or whatever. Like, there's a lot of that going on that she's perceiving to happen right now. And I'm going to say perceiving to happen until we pull more cards and see if that really is the case. But as of right now, she is showing up as this Queen of Wands followed by this Palace of Swords. Like, this relationship's over and I'm going to come out fighting now, you know. And it is, some of it is, you know, because the Queen of Wands can be like this manipulative energy, and it's not so much I'm going to go out and like spread lies or anything, but it's more her being manipulative in that she's trying to get people to see her side of things. And it's like, I will tell you enough stuff to make you side eye them so that you'll be more likely to be on my side. if it comes down to that. And it's like also her knowing that the Kardashians are losing steam, they're running out of, you know, like favor with people. A lot of people are no longer interested. All the ratings have dropped on their shows and stuff. And so she knows that there's people who solely just out of like dislike for them would be more likely to become some sort of supporter or fan of hers if she's like, look, I'm their next victim too. Like, it wasn't, I didn't fuck them over, they just decided to fuck me over kind of energy. So, and excuse the language, I'm sorry, I'm trying to work on it, you guys. So my spirit guides cuss, so it's really hard because sometimes I just want to be like blah, 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 and say everything that they're saying directly and then having to filter. So I think I need to have a little meditation meeting with them later. Like, don't cuss if I'm not allowed to cuss. So right now, she does feel like she is trapped in this Eight of Swords moment in the Hangman, where things are not going her way. Things are bad, and it's because she feels like by whatever, it's like being trapped by what she perceives to be the lies and assumptions of others. Not so much, this is a prison of my own making, but you guys stuck me in this bubble where either way that I turn, I'm going to get hurt because of things that came from other people. Because there's this Page of Cups and this Knight of Cups showing there was people in their ear, there was people talking, there was people who thought if they got Larsa out of the way, then they could take her spot. You know, kind of like clout chasers. So, and again, you guys, this is coming from Larsa's perception of this situation. We're not saying that this is the real case, because when I pull this deck, I put the intention that it was going to show me Larsa's spiritual overview of this situation, and then her emotional state and what she herself feels and believes happened in this case. So again, it's like there was offers coming in towards her with this Four of Coins and Knight of Coins, and she was very excited about it because she felt like, here's, you know, because I believe her divorce with Scotty like was just finalized or is almost finalized, but Spirit's talking about her having relief over the fact that she would be able to still support herself, because she is going to get something out of him, obviously, and out of the divorce, but she feels like it's not like enough, or it's not going to last her as long as she's going to need it to. So it's like, I can still create things for myself, opportunities, make my own money. I'm going to be okay. She was starting to feel like there was hope for her being very financially stable, is what these cards are showing. And then with this Six of Swords and this Four of Cups, all of a sudden, there's this fight or falling out, and all of these offers are being taken away from her. Now, with this Page of Coins and the Six of Coins as well, there's something about she needs to be careful with some of the things that are coming her way right now. Like, don't take paid interviews and just spill your guts because you're afraid that, you know, like the flat tummy tea contract isn't happening anymore. So now I got to go air them out and get this other check that's smaller because I'm worried that I'm never going to get back to that place that I built to where things were going to start panning out, because these are things that in the long run are false offers. It's manipulative, either that, you know, this person's manipulating you to get their views up, or they're making some sort of promise about something, but it's like, it's a lot of please, 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 because we have this Six of Wands in reverse. It's not going to work out in your favor, Larsa. It's going to come back to bite you in the ass, because the next card after that is this King of Swords. And I feel like, you signed an NDA being around them. So you're going to have to be extremely careful if you're trying to win the court of public opinion right now to open up new doors for you, that it doesn't come back in a legal sense, to get you because of that, because that is a really big concern showing up here in these cards. It's coming through as this warning. So yeah, because, you know, there's this temptation of the worry about the money, because all these money cards are coming up, that you as this Queen of Cups with this Devil card would just open your guts and spill everything and not realize that you completely violated something, and then all of a sudden here you are with this, you know, millions of dollars court case, and you were worried about money before, so you're definitely gonna have that as a worry, you know, going forwards if you're not careful. Yeah, because see, it's like with this Knight of Wands and this Three of Swords energy, it's a very manipulative energy, like people coming with this Ace of Cups trying to work with you, but it's manipulative, and there is going to be this third party that's like pulling the strings behind it. So it could be like Kris Jenner goes and tells somebody because she knows that you're gonna F up, and it's like, let's just go ahead and like do this for whatever reason because we want to catch you the first time so we can shut you the F up and catch you when you're saying all this stuff. Because it's like, up until this point, guys, things that she is saying don't completely violate the NDA. So it's like, we know that if you continue to toe the line in the way that you are, what is going to happen is that you're going to say enough to turn more people against us or to make us look bad, but not enough to get yourself in trouble. So we want to push you over the edge to go ahead and get you into trouble immediately so we can shut you up immediately before you make the rounds anymore. So it could be Kris Jenner calling like a Tasha K and being like, hey, I'll give you $50,000 if you interview Larsa Pippen, and you know that you're going to get all these crazy views. And then Kris takes that video and runs to her lawyer with it. And here's this King of Swords and this big battle that you're going to have to fight because you said things that you shouldn't have. And again, those cards are followed by the Seven of Cups and Sun card. So it is you losing what you already have and the potential for you to earn more over saying too much. Which sucks because, I mean, we all... If you're not a huge fan of the Kardashians, and maybe even if you are, there's a lot of people who would love to hear those things, you know, but we don't want it to come at the cost of anybody else, you know, putting their family at risk, because she does have children that she still has to be able to support you guys. So, again, there's this Page of Wands and this Eight of Cups where there's manipulative energy and you having to see it and walk away from it before it gets you, because the outcome on that would be this Four of Swords and then 10 of Cups in reverse. So Larsa, this is just really like your spirit guides throwing this message out here to you. They're telling you, be strong, because you're gonna get past this moment. You know, I know it's everybody's, I get it, because if somebody's, or you know, people behind the scenes are throwing negative things out to you, trying to stop your bag, and you're like, hey, I was a good friend to you, you stole this guy I was dating, and I still like backed you up when some other girl tried to steal him or whatever. Like, you know, if you're in Larsa's position, I get it that you really do want to defend yourself, that you're like, hey, I'm not this horrible monster that you guys are whispering to people, and then those people are running around sticking it on Twitter, and then everybody has an opinion about it. Even though you're not openly saying stuff, you say things to the right people so that it gets out about me, which she's very aware of with this World card here, that the world speaks about her, because this Eight of Coins and this Nine of Coins ends up getting messed up when the world starts to talk about her. But again, also the flip side of this is, Larsa, the world will forget about this moment and the money will come back to you. So don't like cut off your nose to spite your face, so to speak, that you're so caught up in exactly what is going on in this moment and how you feel about it in this moment and what is happening in this moment, that you give away the future just because you're so determined to fix this moment. Like, and that's the thing that I think a lot of times too we need to realize, guys, is information, who's canceled, all of that kind of stuff, like, spends so fast these days. Like, yeah, people, of course, like, you know, when it is a Chloe and Tristan situation and then he does it again, people are going to rehash what he did the first time. But for the most part, when it's one-off stuff like this, it really does die down and become such a distant memory that it's better to just let things fall apart and stay falling apart and don't address it sometimes than to feed more energy into it, because then that just makes it go on longer. And like a lot of the stuff that Larsa is saying, I understand, again, her desire to want to defend herself. Like, of course, if I was in that situation, I would want to also. But the things that she's sharing don't exactly make her look any better, because it's like, Chloe stole your boyfriend, why would you go and bully Jordan behind her over it? Like, make that make sense. Like, wouldn't you be sitting back like, karma? Like, or just like, wow, like, I knew he was trash anyways. Like, thank God I escaped that. Like, you wouldn't be sitting there backing her up and then picking on a girl who's literally young enough to be your daughter. So, again, we have the Page of Wands, the Two of Wands, and then this Three of Swords, followed by the Two of Swords and the Ace of Swords. This is all about you opening your mouth to the wrong people because you're not looking at things from a more logical place, and then you end up in a really bad situation because you did it to yourself. You trapped yourself in that because you refused to open your eyes and think about things in a broader sense of the term. When you do that, here is this Death card and this Five of Wands and this Four of Cups, where there may have been at some point some way to salvage your relationship with this family once feelings had passed, or maybe once Kanye was out of the picture or whatever. There would have been some way somehow that you guys could have fixed that, yet you killed that by the things that you're saying right now and by you opening your mouth. And because of that, you're gonna have to work to fix it. And I don't really feel them accepting any sort of apologies from you, because that Four of Cups, where it's that refusal of the offer that you're making to them, followed by the Six of Pentacles, it's like they want money. They're gonna come. Seven of Cups, Hangman, King of Cups, and Ten of Swords. They're gonna come for you for the money, and they're gonna drag everybody that you talked to about them into it as well. So whoever is looking to like want to be the person that breaks all these stories that Larsa does want to share, be very careful, because you could be subpoenaed, deposed, any of that stuff if it did come down to any sort of you know, issue with NDAs and things like that. So we have this Knight of Cups and the Five of Cups. She is going to be really, really upset that she opened her mouth and shared her opinions, thoughts, feelings, whatever was going on, because with this Knight of Wands and this Queen of Pentacles, Kris Jenner ain't going to play with you. Let's just be honest, because Kris Jenner is definitely this Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Two of Cups and the Tower card with this Page of Sword. You have to be very careful who you team up with and who you deal with right now, Larsa, because it really can come back to really, truly bite you in the ass. Oh my God. Okay. Now let's see. And it does suck. I mean, you know, I know that there's a lot of people out there who just wanted, because they don't like the Kardashians, for me to see, you know, that she's gonna somehow take them down or whatever. But we have to be honest, and that's what the cards are saying. And I'm even shocked too, because I was like, maybe she will be the person that takes them down, because I'm not a huge fan of them. I don't outwardly like hate them or anything like that. I just, all the cultural appropriation, I'm just not into their whole shtick, whatever, but, okay, let's see. Spirit, please tell me what happened between Larsa and Travis Scott. Was she hitting on him? Spirit, please tell me what happened. Because she denies hitting on him. She says that she went to the club with her friends and left the club with her friends, and that she might have talked to him a little bit there, but that she never hit on him. And I'm just trying to understand, like, if she's telling the truth, what motivation Travis had in lying to Kylie about that. And I did hear somebody earlier, I think it was the Impressive channel, because I was watching her breakdown of what happened, because I didn't really like see like this whole comprehensive story anywhere of what exactly, you know, transpired and stuff. I just saw everybody was talking about Larsa, and so she, you know, pointed out that you know, they're so hypocritical, because it's like, don't you dare like mess with any of our men, but we have no problem stealing everybody else's man. So Larsa, you hit on Travis. Like, let's not even play. This high priestess, this lovers, and this devil is, you're trying to spin this story in a different direction, but it did happen. You really thought that because this guy wasn't with his baby mama, that you could just like sneak one in because you always thought he was cute, and it totally backfired on you with this Wheel of Fortune and this Three of Cups in reverse. Because not only did he not sleep with you, but then he told everybody what you did too. So, because we have this moon card of the real truth did come out, even though she definitely tried to keep that hidden. This Four of Pentacles, she's forever going to deny that it happened. But with this Knight of Cups, yes, it did happen. Larsa, why would you do that? And I mean, for God's sakes too, he's literally like so much younger than you. I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't really have like a huge issue with like age gaps most of the time, but sometimes situations like this, it just almost kind of feels like predatory in the sense that you don't have any problem trying to sleep with your supposed best friend's baby sister's baby daddy, but it's just like, girl, what? Because see, here comes Travis, the Emperor, with this Judgment card and the Hierophant and the Chariot. Like, he actually like didn't exactly say anything right away, but he felt like he was going to have to. There's something about with this Ace of Swords and this Seven of Swords, like, he was afraid that somebody else was gonna come along and say like, hey Kylie, guess what, I saw Travis and Larsa making out last night. And she, because Kylie's showing up as this Empress, she was so paranoid about the people around them with this Two of Swords and this Two of Wands, trying to cause problems in her life, trying to steal her man, trying to, you know, like backstab them after what happened with Jordan and Tristan. And I feel like with the Seven of Wands, I feel like Kylie, and the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like Kylie was, and there's this King of Swords, I feel like Kylie was being very paranoid towards Travis and kind of fighting with him a little bit. So he was just like, I have to tell this, and I have to tell her like exactly what happened before anybody else does, because I don't want this shit coming back on me and then I'm the cheater, when I was just sitting there weirded out that all of a sudden Larsa's over here hitting on me. Because I just keep getting this energy of Travis being like, you know, the whole time Larsa's like starting to try to flirt with him. Like everything was cool. Like, oh, hey, it's cool to see you. And all of a sudden it just got real awkward real quick. And he was like, yo, like, what? Okay. Also, Spirit saying that Travis was afraid that Larsa would lie and be like, no, I couldn't have been the one doing that because he was making out with this girl and she was, you know, like a foot taller than me and she's really skinny and she's blonde hair. Like, and then she would have made up some story to excuse herself out of it and then threw him under the bus and, you know, got him in more trouble too. So, Spirit was, tell us, was Larsa and Kanye having these late night conversation vent sessions together? Was Kanye contacting Larsa Pippen and venting to her? Spirit, was Kanye contacting Larsa, talking to her? And I had read something a while back that it did confirm that Kanye didn't like Larsa anymore or whatever, but that he supposedly, because he was trying to make Kim be this more conservative Christian woman, felt like Larsa was a bad influence on her because of the way that she dresses and goes out and parties and drinks and does stuff. And so he was like supposedly overly concerned and didn't want, you know, Kim around her anymore because he felt like it was going to keep her from getting closer to Jesus or something like that. So, I mean, I don't know if that's true. We'll see what comes up in these cards. But, okay, there was some communication with Kanye coming up as the King of Cups. However, it wasn't the way that Larsa is making this out to be. It's like, the way that I'm picking this up with this Four of Swords, Kanye was in one of his allegedly manic states. I don't know how else you would describe it. But it was him being, I think this was around the time that he was, you know, paranoid about Kim being with other men. Not when he exposed it on Twitter and said that, but this was months ago when the paranoia of that happening started to kick in. Because I keep getting with this Page of Pentacles and Five of Pentacles and then this Nine of Cups, it was him going to Larsa and asking her, like, hey, like, please tell me, because I don't want to be blindsided here. I'm trying to fix my marriage and find out what is going on, because he felt like there was something else behind the scenes that he had no idea about that maybe Kim was up to, and that's why things weren't going well between the two of them at that time. And so he was asking Larsa for information about it, with this Queen of, her coming up as this Queen of Wands. You know, she was, with this Ace of Pentacles, she did tell him stuff. She did. But it was in a manipulative sense. Larsa, I feel like you're very jealous of the Kardashians. I know a lot of people have said that you've put a lot of work into yourself trying to look more like them. And it's like, even though she's supposedly supposed to be Kim's friend, when she had these little moments, she did always sort of take them, is what I'm getting. And so with her, you know, confirming some of Kanye's fears, because there is this judgment card of somebody trying to make a decision with all the facts in their hands, and then this Emperor and this Justice card. Kanye felt like his fears were justified. Like, now that I know that there is somebody else in the picture and that she is doing these things that I was worried that she was doing, now I don't have to feel so paranoid about it. Like, I knew, like, my gut was going off and telling me something for a reason. So the thing is, though, with this World card, Page of Cups, and Six of Wands, did Kanye actually leave Kim over it? No. Did anything really, like, I mean, that for all intents and purposes, they're basically separated right now. You know, they don't live together very much or whatever, but aren't we used to that anyways? I mean, that was kind of their marriage regardless, from what I've always heard. So it's like things just sort of went right back to normal for Kanye and Kim. Even when he did, you know, flip out on Kim with his 5 of Cups and 3 of Wands, he still got his 10 of Cups, got his family back. So Larsa ends up as this, you know, she shed the light, she spilled the truth, but with the 6 of Swords, she was the one that was left behind. So there was no vindication for her with this 4 of Wands in reverse. All she ended up with was this 5 of Swords, that now she's got all these big fights on her hands and things are falling apart for her at the moment. But again, it's her own doing, because that mouth of hers is what caused all of these problems. Her being this sneaky snake behind everybody's back with this Magician card and this 8 of Wands and this 10 of Swords. It backfired on you, Larsa. That's why, you guys, I mean, I know we always want, you know, if there's, like, when you know that somebody's cheating or stepping out on their relationship, it's always such a, it's such a weird position to be put into, because you always feel like, I'm obligated to tell my friend. However, if that person that you tell who is being cheated on decides to stay with their partner, then you become this evil monster for opening your mouth. Whereas, you know, they stay with the partner and everything, and then it's that whole shoot the messenger thing. So it's like, you have to really judge a situation when somebody comes to you and really truly ask yourself, is this person going to do anything about it? Or are they just going to forgive them as soon as that you know, the cheater tells them whatever they want to hear enough? And if you feel like that's going to be the latter, then keep your freaking nose out of it, which Larsa definitely should have done. Larsa, if you can manage to keep your mouth shut, you would have a lot more financial opportunities coming your way. But if you continue to talk with this Ace of Cups, this Queen of Pentacles is going to come for you, which I feel like this is Kris Jenner. Also, Kanye's energy shows up as the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like Kanye, because I just keep getting, Kanye really doesn't like her anymore. And so Kanye would play a part in being like, no, go sue her. Like, he wouldn't hold back if he had any part of that decision. So even though he quoted her in the first place and all of that, but there's this point where he's at now that he feels like he just simply doesn't, you know, like, Larsa can never come back into the fold. I don't want that. I don't want Kim and her to make up and for her to come back in here. And, you know, honestly, guys, I feel like Kanye's feelings towards that have much more to do with maybe the fact that Larsa was around when Kim was, like, doing some of these things that Larsa told him that Kim did. Maybe it was that Larsa somehow played a part in it. But he feels like Larsa being around Kim would be the reason why Kim would do those things. Maybe because of Larsa hitting on Travis, or because of her cheating on Scotty with Future or whatever, you know, but it's just, he feels like Larsa would be the reason that Kim would leave or cheat on him. So I just want to ask real quick, Spirit, were the things that Larsa told Kanye the truth? But Spirit is just saying Kanye wasn't calling Larsa as a shoulder to cry on or anything like that. They had a few conversations, but it was simply Kanye being like, I need you to tell me, like, is she involved with other guys, or did she do this, or did she do that, or somebody said that her and Drake hooked up, but do you know if that's true? Like, that kind of stuff. Spirit, what are the things that Larsa told Kanye about Kim the truth? But it didn't really go beyond those conversations that were simply centered around his relationship with Kim and anything that might be affecting it, is what Spirit says. She came up as that Queen of Wands, so I'm just wondering. With this Ace of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Fool card, there was like small parts of it that were true, like maybe like, oh, Kim and Meek like were like just cracking each other up, telling your mama fat jokes to each other, but the way that she put it towards Kanye, you know, Kim and Meek were like locked in a room by themselves all night and we could just hear them laughing and talking. And I really think that, you know, like after everybody went to bed, maybe something happened because they seemed to be just like locked away from everybody and only wanting to talk to each other, and you know, maybe insinuating things went on when it didn't really happen in that way, but that's how she said enough to make it seem that way. And Kanye was really pissed because of this King of Swords. So, because he felt with this Three of Swords, like whatever Larsa has told him, he is convinced that Kim cheated on him. And it is what Larsa told him. Yeah, see, this is crazy. Larsa was hoping with this Sun card and her showing up with this High Priestess energy that she was, and it's crossed by the devil, you guys, so it's like that exaggeration or manipulation of what really did happen. She thought it was going to cause Kanye to leave Kim and for them to get divorced. And she did it knowing or feeling like that was going to be the outcome of it. But Kanye with this 10 of Cups and showing up as the King of Cups, it actually, and this Knight of Cups, it made him like try harder to fix his relationship with Kim. Because with the Six of Swords in reverse, he wasn't ready to leave yet. But she really thought it was going to make him leave. And see, with this Page of Wands and Page of Swords energy, this is just showing up as a lot of jealousy with this Ten of Pentacles of them having like money and access and fame and all of these things, because it's also flanked by this Moon card. So it's like there's dark, jealous emotions behind it, because she feels like, I've worked really hard my whole life. See, this is what's crazy. It's like she feels like she's worked really hard her whole entire life, that she was forced to leave her marriage and her other situations that she's been in. Like, no matter what I'm doing with the Six of Cups in the world in reverse, things don't work out well for me. Eight of Pentacles, like my money's never really in the place that it needs to be. And so it was just the green-eyed monster flared up and she decided to say some stuff. But it's like after, you know, it made Kanye cling harder to Kim. But then like what Spirit is saying is conversations coming out and being like, oh, hey, like, you know, as they're trying to repair things, or maybe even after he went on his crazy Twitter rant, you know, claiming Kim hooked up with Meek, I keep getting there having been this conversation where other people who were around were like, that didn't happen like that. And, you know, whether it was the Meek situation or other situations, I just feel like other people sort of debunked a lot of the stuff that Larsa said, or was like, it wasn't that deep. And that's really, you know, kind of cemented things that Larsa, you're not going to be friends with them ever again. If you would have just shut up and like kept your mouth shut to yourself, never gotten things, didn't hit on Travis, like y'all would be great. But okay, so and we are at 45 minutes. I have to check the time too, because I don't know if it's close to my son's parent-teacher conference time. But I will do a separate video on if the sisters are all going to get pregnant together. And, let me ask real quick, though, because I do want to see, did Larsa actually date Tristan? Because that never got answered. Didn't get answered in the overview or any of it. It was just telling her, girl, shut your mouth before you get sued. Which everybody, you guys, says that that's why you don't hear all these negative stories about the Kardashians from people who were in their inner circle and no longer are, like how Jordan hasn't came out and said a whole lot of stuff or whatever, because they supposedly have the best, craziest lawyers that will get anybody for anything and cost a fortune, and they make every single person around them sign these like airclad DNAs or DNRs, I'm sorry. And so, you know, it's very rare that somebody really truly does. And when we do hear stuff, it's like a nanny from when they were growing up. And then what happens? Like, that story's everywhere and then it disappears, you know. And I've heard that they've gotten people's books that they wrote about them, like, taken off the shelves, and it's people that knew them growing up and stuff. So they really don't play when it comes to their business being out on Front Street unless they're the ones that are putting it out themselves. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that they would go after her, you know, for saying anything. If she decides to say anything more. It's her and Tristan were just hooking up with this Page of Wands. There wasn't really anything that was like all that serious going on. But she did invite him to that party. It wasn't as deep as she made it out. Like, I brought him with me as my date because we were exploring whether we were going to be in a relationship. He really was just like, cool, I'll bang you a few times. Like, you're kind of hot. I mean, it's Tristan. Are we really like that, like, surprised? But he comes up in the King of Cups in reverse towards her, so he never would have considered her as anything more than just, you know, whatever it was. And then here he had this choice to make, and with his little immature emotional self took it on over with the Chariot card away from her. And his decision to move on from her was motivated by money with the Page of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. So, and yeah, you know, now here he is with this King of Wands and Temperance card and Two of Cups. He's over there cheating on Chloe all over again. So, and that card, that just confirmed that they are back together. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have another kid or get married or something, because he's going to have to give Chloe some sort of concession to keep her around, and rings and necklaces aren't going to be enough forever. But All right, guys, I will come back with the second part of this. Well, it'll just be its own standalone video about if the sisters are all going to have babies together or not. So I hope that you are all having an amazing week. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do all the things, giveaway at 300 subscribers. And if you want to book your own personal private reading with me, all the information will be in the description box. So thanks, guys. Bye.